actual God, I am literally unwell. I am shaking right now.
I mean, I had to physically hold you back through the phone last night. I really thought your flat screen was an absolute goner.
It almost was. Because the absolute unadulterated chaos, like the sheer betrayal we just witnessed, the missing tapes, who physically stole the master tapes.
It is historic. We are dealing with a literal masterclass in psychological manipulation this week.
Yes. My brain has been short-circuiting for the last 12 hours trying to map out the sheer sociopathy on our screens. But wait, before we get into all of that, welcome back, babes. We love you, we see you, and babes, welcome back.
We have so much to unpack today. It isn't just bad behavior we were looking at. It is the calculated architectural destruction of human lives.
It is emotional terrorism. But babes, before we get into the heavy psychological warfare, the strawberry peach sangria is officially on deck tonight.
Oh, thank goodness.
Let me tell you, I poured myself a devastatingly large glass before we hit record. And babes, this drink is literally giving unlimited sunshine.
It genuinely is an elite beverage.
It is sunshine in a glass. The color alone is curing my seasonal depression right now.
The peach is doing exactly what it needs to do, to balance the tartness of the strawberry. And the wine just cuts right through it.
It is so dangerous, though, because it goes down like juice.
Oh, 100%. Suddenly you're feeling invincible, making terrible life choices, kind of like half the cast of this show.
Honestly, drinking this makes me spiral so hard because I feel like we should be on vacation.
Instead of staring at microphones in our apartments?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why are we here? I am fully pretending we are hosting a luxury garden party right now.
I can literally see the delusion washing over your face.
Let me have this. In my mind, I am wearing an oversized, breathable linen set, massive tortoiseshell sunglasses, and we are somewhere in Europe. I've already planned the entire imaginary European summer itinerary.
Oh, here we go. Where we go?
We start in Positano, obviously. We rent a villa on the cliffside. Then we take a private boat because, we have exorbitant private boat money in this delusion.
Yeah.
We take the boat over to Capri, and then we just eat our way through the south of France until late September, completely refusing to perceive reality.
Look at you, acting like you already own a sprawling vineyard somewhere in Tuscany.
I basically do in my mind.
Well, I hate to break it to you, bestie, but your itinerary is completely flawed on a logistical level.
Wait, why? It sounds perfect.
First of all, Positano in July. You want to be shoulder to shoulder with thousands of influencers sweating profusely while trying to get the exact same TikTok video of a lemon sorbet.
Okay, you know.
Exactly. The anxiety would end me. If we have private boat money, we are going to a completely secluded, uncharted island off the coast of Croatia where I don't have to look at a single blinding ring light.
Okay, fair. Croatia it is.
Plus, you would burn to a crisp in the south of France. You burn if you even look at a photograph of the sun. You literally require SPF 100 just to check the mail.
Okay, incredibly rude, but unfortunately very accurate. I would blister immediately.
See, the delusion is crumbling.
But the sangria is keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, babes, we need to talk about sports betting for a minute.
Oh, God. Here we go. The great modern epidemic.
Because honestly, it feels like it appeared out of absolutely nowhere.
It really did.
It was like one day we were living normal lives, and the next day, everything is betting. I cannot watch a single piece of media without a minor celebrity screaming at me about parlays.
It is inescapable. I feel like I am 87 years old trying to understand what is happening to society.
Yes, spiral with me on this. I am so confused, but also fascinated from a sociological standpoint.
Everyone is speaking a completely different mathematically aggressive language now.
Suddenly, everyone I know is an overnight sports expert.
Yeah.
People who didn't know what a first down was 3 months ago are screaming at the TV about point spreads.
It's because the relentless advertising has rewired their brain chemistry.
What is a point spread, bestie? Why does my cousin, who had to take remedial geometry twice, suddenly understand complex probability algorithms for a Tuesday night basketball game?
It's DraftKings this, FanDuel that. It gamifies every single micro moment of human athletic exertion.
It is exhausting.
I don't understand the terminology at all. What is a prop bet? Why are we betting our hard-earned money on how many times the head coach blinks in the third quarter? Literally.
It makes you question if sports are even about the actual game anymore. The actual athletes are just random number generators for people sitting on their couches eating potato chips.
Exactly. Everyone is chasing this bizarre manufactured high, which honestly isn't that different from the characters chasing power on TV, but we will get to that.
Nice pivot.
Thanks. But first, babes, We also need to discuss grass.
Grass, like the turf.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Specifically lawnmowers. Because the sound of lawnmowers is literal, unavoidable summer torture.
Oh, I am so viscerally with you on this. It is the abrasive soundtrack of my absolute nightmares.
Babes, trying to sleep in on your one day off, your one single morning, to recover from the physical toll of our jobs while someone is revving a two-stroke engine right outside your window.
It is an act of violence. It feels targeted. And why does the sound of a lawnmower somehow defy the laws of acoustic physics and travel for literally miles?
Because it is designed to ruin your peace.
I swear someone could be cutting their grass 3 entire towns over, and the buzzing is vibrating directly inside my ear canal.
And why does every single lawn in the metropolitan area need cutting at the exact same synchronized time?
Yes, it's like a coordinated buzzing event designed to break my spirit. And the ultimate irony, yes, babes, we live in apartments.
We do not have lawns.
So tell us why we can still hear lawnmowers constantly. I have a 5x8 concrete patio. Why am I being punished with noise pollution when I don't even get to walk barefoot on fresh grass?
It's the cruelty of the season. Actually, let's just air it all out. Let's talk about the undercover parts of summer that are secretly terrible.
Oh, let's go. Ruined summer for me.
Everyone romanticizes the sunshine, but let's be real. Mosquitoes.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Vile. The absolute worst evolutionary mistake.
Humidity. Walking outside your perfectly air-conditioned apartment and immediately feeling like you've been wrapped in a warm, damp, suffocating wool sweater.
Yes. The humidity, completely disrespecting my hair. The hours I spend trying to look presentable, gone in 3 seconds.
Tourist crowds ruining every local coffee shop.
And wasps. Why are wasps so inherently aggressive in the summer? You take out a single piece of fresh fruit on a patio, and suddenly you are fighting for your actual life.
They are tiny flying assassins, and don't even get me started on outdoor furniture setup.
The cheap Allen wrenches sent from the depths of hell.
Exactly. But honestly, the absolute pinnacle of summer hatred for me, the bane of my existence, pool maintenance.
Oh no, here we go. The trauma is surfacing.
Yes, the trauma. Because my mom somehow every single year recruits both of us to help maintain her pool.
Why is it our problem? Why does her desire for aquatic luxury become our manual labor?
I don't know, babes. I am still physically and emotionally recovering from last weekend.
Let's remind the Snark Squad we are dentists. Our hands are our livelihood.
They're insured.
And there I was, elbow deep in the plastic skimmer basket, pulling out waterlogged dead frogs and slimy oak leaves. I was questioning every choice that led me to that backyard.
The pH balancing is what breaks me. The endless buckets of chlorine tablets, testing the water chemistry like we are suddenly lead researchers in a high-security lab.
Your mom standing there asking, is the alkalinity right?
I don't know, Mother. I drill teeth and do root canals for a living. I am not a hydrologist. I don't know why the water in the deep end is turning slightly green, but I assure you, pouring 6 more gallons of shock into it while standing barefoot on the concrete is a health hazard.
The smell of the chlorine literally bakes into your skin. It changes your cellular makeup.
It really is.
I went to the clinic on Monday doing a highly delicate crown prep, and I swear I just smelled like a 1990s community center swimming pool.
Okay, speaking of the clinic, babes, we need to discuss lunch.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because both of us had amazing lunches today, and I think it's important to honor that.
Let's bring the Snark Squad up to speed. In case you are new here, babes, we are both dentists, working at completely separate practices across town from each other.
But we text each other constantly throughout the day to survive the chaos.
Exactly. And today, our lunch orders were elite.
Tell them what you ordered. Spare no descriptive detail.
I treated myself. I got the most incredible, overly expensive, completely unnecessary artisanal sandwich.
I am salivating.
We're talking thinly sliced imported prosciutto, the creamiest burrata you've ever seen, a drizzle of hot honey, and peppery arugula, all nestled inside a toasted ciabatta baked by actual angels.
Wow.
Babes, that lunch completely powered me emotionally through the rest of the day. Without it, I would have locked myself in the supply closet and cried next to the lidocaine.
I completely understand. I would happily discuss food for the next hour if we didn't have television chaos to dissect.
What did you have?
I ordered a spicy tuna bowl that literally reset my central nervous system.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
The rice was perfectly seasoned, the tuna was incredibly fresh, the spicy mayo was exactly the right ratio.
The emotional importance of a good lunch break in the dental field cannot be overstated.
When you are staring into open mouths all day, dealing with people's pain and anxiety, That 45-minute window of culinary peace is the one beacon of hope keeping you tethered to your sanity.
It completely changes the trajectory of the workday. Let's do a quick highs and lows of the day before we pivot.
Let's do it.
Highs, obviously, the amazing artisanal food. But also, my coworkers were actually hilarious today.
Always a bonus.
We were making so many inside jokes behind the front desk, just crying, laughing between patients, escaping the high-pitched whine of the drill for a few minutes.
Those are strong highs. My lows, however, were devastating.
Oh no, what that?
We had massive technology problems in the clinic. The X-ray software decided to just stop communicating with the main server.
The worst.
So I had an anxious patient sitting completely frozen in the chair, wearing the heavy lead apron, just staring at me while I frantically tried to reboot the entire network.
I'm sweating just thinking about that.
Combine that with back-to-back busy schedules, but the absolute worst low. The devastating, bone-crushing desire for a nap immediately after eating my spicy tuna bowl.
Oh, the post-lunch slump is a physical weight.
Knowing I still had 4 more grueling hours of patients to see. Brutal.
I just wanted to curl up in a fetal position under the sterilization counter and let the autoclave lull me to sleep. But we survived.
Barely.
Okay, babes. Enough spiraling about our lives, our summer trauma, and our lunches, because we need to get into this episode.
We truly do. The transition from our mundane reality to the glossy, vicious world of Rutshire is exactly the whiplash we need.
We are recapping Rivals Season 2, Episode 5, Who Took the Golden Gauntlet tapes. And let me tell you, this hour of television took literal years off my life.
My cortisol levels were spiking the entire time. Let's explore the first major dynamic, the Irish temptation.
The undeniable explosive chemistry between Declan and Cameron.
It was palpable.
Babes, setting the scene, I absolutely lost my mind over the picturesque sequences in Ireland for Declan's Yates documentary.
The cinematography was gorgeous.
The sweeping drone shots of the coastal cliffs, the vibrant green fields, the crashing gray ocean. It was visually breathtaking.
It felt like a completely different show for a second, which was highly intentional by the directors.
Right. It was such a contrast.
It was a stark juxtaposition to the brightly lit, superficial, champagne-soaked world of Rutshire. Ireland represented something primal and authentic.
But of course, because these characters are fundamentally broken, the gorgeous scenery was just a backdrop for utter, humiliating chaos on set.
The opening sequence on the set was a disaster.
I was cackling, but I was also horrified. Shelley completely ruining the emotional climax of the shot because Declan literally has a piece of lunch stuck to his face.
It's objectively hilarious physical comedy, but it's also an incredibly messy psychological trigger.
If he loses his mind.
Declan having a complete breakdown over something so minor is a textbook narcissistic injury. His ego is already so incredibly fragile.
Because his career is hanging by a thread and his marriage is falling apart.
Exactly. So when Shelley stops the shot, he projects all of that internal failure outward, screaming at her that she's a rank amateur. He is unraveling.
He was completely unhinged. And then Cameron stepping in as the producer and just screaming right back at him in front of the entire crew.
Which just pours high-octane gasoline on the fire.
Seriously.
Because Cameron doesn't just manage the situation professionally, she hits deliberately below the belt to assert dominance.
She brings up his imploded marriage right there.
Yeah.
In front of the boom operators.
It's cruel. And then Patrick, Declan's son, tries to defend his dad, and Cameron just turns around and aggressively yells at him too.
The secondhand embarrassment I felt. I was physically sinking into the cushions of my couch.
Yeah.
But then, babes, we have to talk about this skinny dipping incident.
Oh, I knew you were going to hyper-fixate on this.
I lost my mind. I was screaming at the television.
Tell the Snark squad why.
So Declan, reeling from this public humiliation, goes skinny dipping in the freezing ocean to clear his head. And when he emerges from the icy water, completely exposed, Cameron is just happening to be standing there on the rocky beach.
It's the oldest romance trope in the literary playbook, but my God, they executed it perfectly.
Babes, I was trying to figure out why this trope is so effective. It's like when you're at a really messy destination wedding, right?
Okay, I see where this is going.
Tensions are high, people are stressed, and suddenly the highly annoying coworker that you always bicker with is standing there, dripping wet by the resort pool.
And the brain short circuits.
Yes. The stress-induced adrenaline morphs into attraction, and they become the hottest person alive.
That is a brilliant psychological read. It's called misattribution of arousal.
Ooh, clinical terms.
When your body is flooded with adrenaline from high-stress conflict, the brain can misinterpret that physiological state as intense sexual tension. That is exactly what happened on that beach.
The chemistry was visibly sizzling. The vulnerability of him being physically exposed while she is emotionally exposed.
But if we really want to dig deep, we have to analyze the fireplace chat they had later that evening.
The crackling fire,
Yeah.
the dim lighting, absolute Poldark vibes.
Aiden Turner utilizing that mustache and the brooding stare by the fire. The internet is completely feral over it.
As they should be.
But look at the underlying psychology. Declan and Cameron are both type A, deeply insecure workaholics. But in this scene, they finally put their massive egos aside. They actually apologize to each other.
But friend, I need to know. I have been agonizing over this. Do you think they actually slept together?
They almost kissed. The romantic tension was suffocatingly thick, and then the camera just brutally cuts away.
I feel like I am a victim of this editing. I demand answers.
That's the strategic brilliance of the showrunner. It forces you to project your own desires onto the characters.
So what is your verdict?
Logically, given the deeply flawed track record of literally everyone on this show, the probability of them sleeping together is incredibly high.
Right. They have zero impulse control.
Though playing devil's advocate, knowing Declan's core character, he views himself as the moral superior to people like Tony. He might have pulled back to preserve his own sense of righteousness.
Maybe.
But frankly, whether they had physical sex or not is irrelevant. The profound emotional affair is already happening, which is much harder to recover from.
Wow. That is so true. And we cannot ignore the absolute irony of Patrick in all of this.
The absolute messiness of Patrick actively trying to get with Cameron, too. Like father, like son.
Patrick standing there comparing his chest hair to his dad's chest hair to Cameron. I cannot.
It is an incredibly dark comedy element.
I had to pause the show because I was laughing so hard at the discomfort. It is a literal Oedipal nightmare waiting to happen.
Imagine competing with your own father for the attention of a woman who screams at both of you. It's a psychological disaster zone.
Which brings us perfectly to the audacity of Maud and the absolute villainy of Tony.
Oh, Maud. Where do we even begin?
The audacity. Babes, my blood was boiling. I am ready to physically fight Maud in a Denny's parking lot at 2 a.m.
She is making terrible choices. Let's quickly mock her photo shoot.
I am mocking her relentlessly because it was so deeply embarrassing. Sitting on a literal agricultural tractor, wearing a pristine all-denim jumpsuit that has never seen a day of manual labor.
Surrounded by 4 young dudes in tiny tank tops looking at her like she's a goddess.
It was so profoundly cringe. It was giving desperate midlife crisis, low-budget country music video.
It was an overt display of trying too hard. She is deeply insecure about Declan's fading attention, so she manufactures this absurd scenario to validate herself.
And it's entirely hypocritical because meanwhile, her flirtation with Tony is reaching toxic levels.
Toxic waste levels, which leads us to the camera sob story scene.
Please break this down for me because my blood pressure cannot handle analyzing Tony by myself.
Gladly. Because Tony's story about the camera is an absolute masterclass in predatory behavior.
It is sick.
Let's look at the mechanics. He comes to Maud, deliberately invading her private sanctuary while she's playing the piano.
Which is where she feels vulnerable.
Exactly. And he spins this beautifully orchestrated, tragic tale. He tells her he desperately wanted to be a photographer as a kid, but his cruel father viciously smashed his camera.
And Maud, because she wants to feel like a savior, eats it up completely.
Hook, line, and sinker. He weaponizes strategic pity.
Strategic pity, yes.
He shows a manufactured vulnerability, so she drops her defenses. She feels so sorry for this misunderstood little boy that she goes out and buys him a beautiful vintage camera.
Spending her own money.
And then, this is where the dark triad personality traits shine through. Tony reveals to her, with a chilling smirk, that his dad didn't actually smash the camera.
He threw it out himself. Instead of smashing it in his dad's face, he is a literal psychopath.
It was an absolute test of her compliance. Tony doesn't just want to sleep with Maud for physical gratification.
No, it's way darker than that.
He wants the ultimate godlike validation of ruining Declan's life from the inside out, using Declan's own wife as the weapon. He is grooming her.
And she is falling for it so blindly. Which brings me to the ultimate, unforgivable betrayal. I was pacing around my living room screaming.
The Monica revelation.
Yes. Maud finds out, undeniably, that Monica, Tony's sweet, long-suffering wife, was actually the one who pulled the strings and got her the prestigious role of Titania.
Not Tony.
Right. Tony took all the credit. But Monica was the one working behind the scenes to help Maud's struggling career.
It is a stunning reveal of female solidarity in a world run by vicious men.
And yet, after learning this, Maud still goes to the office and sleeps with Tony. How?
Because she is entirely self-serving.
Babes, I am genuinely asking you, how do you look the woman who helped your career in the eye and then willingly go and sleep with her awful husband? Where's the girl code?
There are no morals in Rutger, bestie. There is only ambition, proximity to power, and lust.
It makes me sick to my stomach.
Maud is choosing proximity to patriarchal power over female solidarity. She wants the danger that Tony provides more than she values loyalty to another woman.
It's an internalized misogyny.
Exactly. She views Monica as weak and Tony as powerful. It's tragic and highly unsympathetic.
Which is why we need to talk about Monica's awakening and the funny fish subtext.
Claire Rushbrook's back must be physically aching from carrying the emotional weight of this entire season. Her performance is phenomenal.
We absolutely have to talk about the How to Stay Married disaster on Corinium TV.
It was the most cringe-inducing daytime television segment I have ever witnessed. It felt like watching a hostage video.
The aesthetics alone were a crime. The bright, clownish makeup they plastered on her, she looked completely washed out and visibly terrified.
Tony forces her on his network to project this manufactured image of a perfect marriage right after his own reputation took a hit. He is using her as a human shield.
And the lies. Tony's sitting there talking about how complete honesty kept their 19-year marriage alive, coming from Tony Baddingham.
The man who lies the way other people breathe.
I was literally throwing handfuls of popcorn at my screen.
If you watch closely, you could see the visceral disgust radiating off of Monica. She is realizing the depth of her own complicity in maintaining his monstrous facade.
When she watched the broadcast later, she literally cannot stomach it. She has to physically walk out of the room.
Ugh.
My heart broke for her.
But this is where the narrative gets incredibly fascinating. Dame Enid to the rescue.
Yes, Dame Enid. I love her so much.
Enid sees Monica quietly struggling, and she steps in to offer genuine comfort. And she hands Monica a signed photograph of a famous female German athlete.
Decode the historical context for the Snark Squad, friend, because this is so important.
Absolutely. Monica's daughters see this interaction, and they casually refer to Enid as a funny fish. Now, for those who might not know, funny fish was a coded 1980s societal slang used to describe someone who was a lesbian or queer.
Right, a way to other them politely.
And then Monica's reply. She stops, looks directly at her daughters with this newfound clarity, and says, "That's incredibly unkind. I might be a funny fish, too."
I emotionally spiraled. I left off my couch. I was cheering in my living room. Yes, Monica, wake up.
It is a brilliant piece of subtextual writing.
Drop the dead weight. Drop that toxic husband and go live your best liberated life with Dame Enid.
She has been trapped in the sunk cost fallacy of a 19-year marriage. Enid offered her a glimpse of an alternative reality, and she's taking it.
I want them to run away to a stone cottage in the countryside, rescue senior dogs, and never look at Tony again.
We can only hope, but unfortunately we have to shift gears back to the chaos because we have to analyze Rupert's sad boy era and the secret daughter plot line.
I am emotionally devastated over Taggy's 21st birthday. Babes, how does an entire family forget a 21st birthday?
Because every single adult in her orbit is pathologically self-absorbed.
It shattered my heart. The scene where Rupert finally remembers and shows up in the rain, and he brings her a puppy, a literal puppy named Claudius.
Which is such a brilliant Shakespearean reference to Hamlet, tying back to the themes of Stolen Thrones this season.
But the angst, babes. Rupert shows up ready to sweep her off her feet, and Boss is already there, treating her right, sharing a quiet dinner.
And Rupert just stops in the doorway.
You can see the realization wash over him. He realizes he missed his chance, and he just whispers, "Happy birthday, Angel," and walks away into the dark. I was sobbing.
It was a beautifully acted sad boy moment. He realizes he can't just bulldoze his way into her life, but he channels all of that rejected energy into his chaotic plan to save Venturer.
The Golden Gauntlet. It was pure 1990s television magic.
A medieval physical tournament on BBC One, American Gladiators meets an upper-class fever dream.
And my absolute favorite part. Despite all the elite Rutger snobbery, it ends with Declan and Rupert getting pulled into a massive pit of fluorescent green slime.
The Gunge.
The Gunge. They are covered in viscous Nickelodeon-style slime on national television, and they are both genuinely smiling.
It was a great equalizer. But amidst the chaos at the Gauntlet, there was a massive Easter egg drop for the hardcore fans.
Please drop the lore.
Okay, Snark Squad, pay attention. Rupert signs an autograph for a young girl with intense eyes who says rules are for breaking. She introduces herself as Perdita,
Yes.
If you have read the Jilly Cooper books, you know who this is. Perdita is Rupert's secret, illegitimate, long-lost daughter.
I am deceased. A secret daughter. The absolute drama. It's like a telenovela.
It perfectly sets up the future seasons, but the immediate cliffhanger brings us to the master tapes whodunit.
The ultimate sabotage. Babes, my jaw physically hit the floor.
Let's set the scene. The editor takes the master tapes to the BBC but discovers they are completely blank. Someone has swapped them.
A premeditated heist.
And we cut immediately to Tony Baddingham dancing around his office, completely destroying the actual magnetic field.
While happily dancing to Tiffany's pop anthem, I think we're alone now.
It is a phenomenal, deeply ironic needle drop, but the massive question is, who physically stole the tapes for Tony?
We need to put on our detective hats because I have very strong theories.
Let's hear your profiling. Suspect 1 is Beatty Johnson.
Okay, I can see the logic. She was lurking in the crowd. She specifically told Rupert she was just there to watch their shambles.
Exactly. She had motive and opportunity. And when the bishop praised the show, her face looked like she swallowed sour milk. Could Tony have planted her? Absolutely.
Suspect 2, Perdita, the new girl.
She has the shifty eyes, but I think her agenda is focused on getting close to Rupert for personal reasons. I don't think she's engaging in corporate espionage for Tony right out of the gate.
Which leads us to suspect 3, the prime suspect.
Yeah.
Babes, I am 100% convinced it is Maud.
You take your case to the jury.
Okay, look at her behavioral shifts. She performatively kisses Declan for the cameras, overcompensating for her guilt. But then Declan wants to go home, and Maud weirdly forces him to stay at the post-competition party.
Her body language was completely closed off.
She wouldn't even look him in the eye. She was purposefully distracting him so the tape swap could happen seamlessly.
It's classic deceptive behavior.
Babes, it's exactly like when your lazy coworker suddenly offers to stay late and clean the dental clinic, but really they just shattered the $1,500 curing light and need time to sweep up the glass.
That is a highly triggering analogy for me, but the psychological parallel is spot on. If Maud delivered the tapes, it proves her ultimate loyalty to Tony over her own husband.
I hate her so much. There's no therapy that fixes this. You cannot come back from actively destroying your husband's career to appease your lover.
Absolutely none. All right, babes, that intense analysis brings us to our favorite part of the show, our segments. Segment 1, Pettiest Person Alive Award.
Oh, I am so ready for this. I am nominating James, Lizzie's absolutely awful husband.
Defend your nomination.
I am nominating him purely for the toddler tantrum he threw over the bath pearls. Lizzie is emotionally exhausted, and James literally throws a screaming fit, complaining that she used his special bath pearls.
A grown man in a suit.
Yes. It is the absolute height of petty microaggressions meant to make her feel small.
It is pathetic, but I have to nominate Tony. Think about the scale of the pettiness. Destroying hours of hard work just out of pure, unadulterated, childish spite, and dancing while he does it.
That is true.
So who do we respect more? The grand villainy of Tony or the whiny microaggression of James?
Honestly, I respect the grand villainy more. Because Tony is completely owning his evilness. James is just a cowardly man-baby who needs his special bath time. James gives me the absolute ick.
I completely agree. Let's move to segment 2, most likely to hold a grudge until 2047. Who refuses to let anything go?
I am strongly arguing for Monica.
Oh, really?
Yes, because she has been asleep for 19 years. Now that she's waking up, she is going to take 19 years of repressed resentment and systematically destroy Tony's empire from the inside.
That is a beautiful thought. However, I'm going to counter and argue for Declan. Once Declan finds out about Maud and Tony, he will never recover.
Oh, you're right.
His core ego is tied to loyalty. This double betrayal will fundamentally break his psyche. He will hold that grudge against both of them until the end of time.
He's going to become so bitter. It reminds me exactly of that one dental hygienist who still holds a grudge because I accidentally threw away her favorite clicky pen in 2019.
Exactly. She will never forgive the pen incident. Declan is the same way.
Okay, segment 3, power move. Or public embarrassment. Let's break down the boldest decisions.
First up, Rupert getting covered in green slime. Genius power move or degrading public embarrassment?
Genius power move. It was textbook PR. By leaning into the absurdity, he completely strips away the stuffy politician image that made the public hate him. He becomes relatable.
Absolutely. Okay, what about Tony forcefully dragging Monica onto the daytime TV show Power move or public embarrassment.
Massive public embarrassment.
Catastrophic failure of optics. Anyone with functioning eyes could see how miserable she was. It made him look like a narcissistic captor making a proof-of-life video.
It's exactly like hostage tape footage.
Yeah.
Okay, babes, final segment. Segment 4. Things that would start a rivalry in real life.
Because what actually causes chaos in our mundane adult lives?
I'll start. Stealing someone's specific lunch from the break room fridge. If I put my $18 sweet green bowl in that fridge and I go in after a brutal root canal and the container is empty, we are blood enemies.
The lunch theft is a violation of the social contract. Here's one from our world, copying the exact color of someone's new fig scrubs.
Oh my God, no, that is evil.
You wait for a limited edition color drop, and the new associate dentist walks in 10 minutes later wearing the exact same matcha green color, acting like they didn't know you bought it.
I would be livid. Okay, another one. Responding K to a highly emotional, multi-paragraph text message.
Emotional violence.
If I pour my heart out about a stressful patient who screamed at me, and you reply with the single letter K, our friendship is terminated.
It shows a complete lack of empathy. And finally, rounding it back to the beginning of the show, refusing to help maintain the summer pool.
Oh my gosh, yes.
If my mom calls you to come help us skim the dead insects out of the filter and you suddenly have important errands to run, I will hold that grudge until 2047.
I swear I will never abandon you. I will bring the pH test strips.
You better.
Okay, babes. That is all the snark and chaos we have time to unpack for today. Thank you so much to the Snark Squad for hanging out, drinking strawberry peach sangria with us, and spiraling over the absolute mess that is Rutshire.
It has been a pleasure, as always.
Now we want to hear from you. Get down in the comments. What hidden, undercover part of summer absolutely annoys you the most? And who do you think was the pettiest person this episode?
Drop your psychological profiles in the comments. And babes, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the Snark side with your messiest besties.
Exactly. We love you guys so much. As always, stay messy, stay delusional, and babes, we will see you on the Snark side. Wait, friend, before we sign off completely, I have one final thought I can't shake.
What is it?
When you look at Tony destroying those tapes, and Maud sacrificing her marriage for him, it really makes you wonder, at what point does blinding ambition stop being a drive for success and just become a terminal disease that rots your actual humanity?
That is the terrifying question. Because if you win the world but lose your soul, what exactly are you left ruling over? Just a kingdom of blank tapes.